Copycamp is not a place to decide on anything. We are not changing the world. It's the place when we think about the implications and the role of the copyright and intellectual property in politics, in economy, in society.
Okay, what would I change in copyright law? What I would like to change.
This is a hard question. You're going to edit, right?
But if I were to change one thing, it would be to legalize the sharing, not for profit, in between individuals. What happens in our living rooms, what happens in our homes, what happens in our ears is private, should remain private.
We today use copyright also for sharing, for creating content freely and sharing it with everybody. And I would like copyright law to reflect this and to support it.
I would insist on treating digital works in the same way that we treat traditional analog works when it comes to consumer ownership.
I would like us to create a framework that truly fosters and encourages innovation and creativity. And I think that could be done through, let's say, harmonization of some exceptions or the inclusion of some kind of more flexible framework like a user-generated content exception.
The Sui-generis database right that comes from '96 is not a success story, so I would propose to get rid of it, or at least to improve the limitations, which are much too limited compared to general copyright law and do not fit to facing new problems like big data, for example.
The thing I would change most about copyright law is change the duration, because currently we have 70 years something plus the life of the author. It's really, really long, and we lost the benefit to society.
The most important change we need in copyright law is to have European users' rights. At the moment, every country in the EU has defined their own copyright exceptions, and we don't have a common standard for things like quotation, for parody, for people's right to express themselves and build upon the creation of others.
Most countries have laws that have been updated in the 1980s. If we have a general, open, flexible exception that is able to adapt to new technologies, but always fair, making sure that the creator and author is still able to earn a living, that I think is the most important thing we should do right now.
Young people see that territoriality is a concept that shouldn't be in place anymore. The internet is borderless, culture is borderless, and copyright should be the same everywhere.
I would drastically reduce the term of protection. If you would reduce the term from 100 years plus maybe, which is normal nowadays, to 5 years, you would get rid of most of the problems.
I think that we need fair use. Every country should have a fair use, open clauses, to allow the rights of the users and educators and filmmakers and everybody.
If we get to understand that copyright is related to our everyday life, we should also understand that we need to make it more understandable for those who use material. The regular citizen, the non-lawyers.
I think that the modern copyright should also reflect the modern realities, and I would like to have copyright to be actually adapted for the digital age. And currently, unfortunately, I think it's not, and this is something that we need to change.
Well, I think that non-commercial use should be included as an exception in the copyright.
Today, everyone is a creator. Everyone is their own publisher. The most important thing is that we write laws that are made for regular people.
I guess that I would change the scope of protection, because nowadays it's definitely too vast, too many objects are protected by copyright. And the most important issue, I guess, is also the awareness of the law, how you're supposed to obey the rules, how can you use it to be in your favor.
I think for copyright law, what we're facing is threats at the moment. Threats from on ownership rights and making sure that people have the right to do what they want with things that they buy in a digital environment.
We need to legalize non-commercial sharing.